Hey guys, and welcome back to Subnautica Below Zero. So we have a very action-packed full video today. This is actually a pre-recorded video of me playing for a very long time, all edited together, so I'm doing a voiceover for it.
You were sent here to harness me. I will destroy you first.
You're not sure of my intentions. Are you afraid?
I am all-powerful.
I came here because I'm curious about your people. It sounds like you're in trouble.
My storage medium is failing.
You're dying.
I am considering my options.
Storage medium found.
What does that mean?
Storage capacity was identified on your person.
Where? On my PDA? Hello?
So yeah, this video was basically a mashup of me playing for about 3 or 4 days. So what happened was I jumped back into the game because obviously we were in freedom mode. I wanted to kind of explore a little bit more, and I wasn't actually able to record my voice at the time. But as I was playing, I was discovering more and more cool things. So I decided, you know what, we'll do things a little bit different. I decided to just record all of the gameplay and then edit it all together. I basically get all of the really cool best parts for you guys. And I wanted to go through the story, kind of get back to where we were before, and you know, basically see what has changed.
Presently, yes.
A digital backup to save you in case of disaster.
It has worked until now. My data can be downloaded from the terminal.
Is that what you'd like?
I have hours to live. I may not like it now, but I will appreciate it later.
I'm taking that as a yes.
So yeah, I actually played off screen for quite some time and I found so much cool stuff. So stick around because this video is like packed, guys. It really is. So I really wanted to go through all of the story elements and everything like that and see what has changed, because this game has been updated so much since I went through this. So I just wanted to see all the different little changes that we had, and in doing so found some really cool stuff that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So I'm super pleased with everything I managed to capture. And yes, this video has taken me so long to put together, but I really hope you guys enjoy it. So I thought this would be something a little bit fun and different to do. Plus, you know, we get the chance to see all of the cool story elements without all the grind behind it.
Download capacity was identified in your cerebral cortex.
You're in my head.
I am also surprised.
Is it reversible?
I hope so.
Sanctuary power failed.
But not from here.
Damn it.
I will find a way. With the processing power available, it may take some time. I will alert you when I exit hibernation.
This is exactly why we have protocols.
Data was lost in the download process.
Yours or mine?
I cannot recall. I will hibernate.
Wait, what's your name?
We do not use words that way.
I had a pet barwall once. I called him Ketchup. Don't make me name you two.
You may append your seed code to the species designation. You may call me Al.
I waited my whole life to meet a spacefaring alien. You're telling me your name is Alan?
Is it insufficient?
No. No, Al-An. It's perfect.
I will alert you when I have more information.
So there I was just building a little base because I was trying to go nice and deep down. So basically I built a little base and I went into creative mode and I got us a really cool sea truck with all the upgrades so that we could dive deep into the twisty bridges and all the cool different places. So with everything happening with my save files and everything like that, I decided to cheat like crazy and just explore the really cool content of the game. And I thought, you know, we kind of jump in this video between creative and freedom because partly I wanted to just explore, but I also wanted to see the new creature attacks as well, so we kind of go between both. And in doing so and exploring, I found so many things, and I actually got to the point where I found so much that I kind of feel like I've spoiled some of the game for myself because I delved a little bit too deep. But yeah, I really wanted to share everything I kind of discovered. So yeah.
Repairing the nearby radio tower.
So things were just kind of happening as I was playing off screen. So yeah, these little different story elements kept on coming, and I was like, ooh, okay. Because I'm not really sure, because like I tried to stay away from spoilers as much as possible because I want to discover, you know, everything in the game for myself. Like with the original Subnautica, I did so much like delving into Google and watched so many YouTube videos about it. But by the time I went through it myself, I already knew what was going to happen. So with Below Zero, I really wanted to try and keep something secret, and then I came across this beast of a creature that I'd never seen before. Now again, we are still in experimental mode. So I came across this guy and I was like, whoa, what are you supposed to be? So I decided to just kind of chill and watch him, see what he would do. As you can see, at the moment I'm in freedom mode, and I was like, is he going to attack this? And the answer is yes, he is. So he's like part dragon, part lizard, part fish. I have no idea what his name is, but he looks really cool, and I think he's so scary. And I have to say, with the experimental version, there are predators everywhere. There's so many of these creatures, the squid sharks, and the other one which I don't know the name of, the one with a really long like snout that's like an orangey colour. They're everywhere as well. It is crazy. So I finally made it back to the island and decided to kind of explore the island a little bit, see what changes we had, and all that fun stuff. So this signal here, this is when you need to come and actually do maintenance to one of the little aerial things. So this is like a radio tower. You have to come and repair it in order to contact the Vesper, because obviously the Vesper's been hit by one of the meteors in the meteor shower, and you need to be able to keep in contact with Sam. So basically you need to come and contact her, and while exploring I found this little area, but they were kind of doing research. So we have like the mineral detector fragment, this is how we unlock it. And yeah, this is like a little research area that I found. Obviously, you know, we are still in early access, we're in experimental, everything isn't quite finished, everything's not polished. So yeah, we're finding a few things. So finding adequate geological samples has been exceptionally easy with the new modified scanner tool. With this new research pace, oh okay, well I went off it too fast. But if you guys want to pause and read it all, you can. But yeah, again, I decided to, you know, check the base out again. We've been here before, but obviously that was in a previous save, so I wanted to see if anything was different, if we had any new stuff in here. So we kind of had a little look around. Pretty much everything is the same. You do get like a water, you get a nutrition block and a health kit here. And this is where you can scan all of your objects, like the multi-purpose room, your jukeboxes, all your chairs and your tables and all that here. The fabricator is here. And I think the modification station is here as well. So there's like loads of like blueprints that you can get from this base. So we kind of just went through and, you know, scanned everything really. And yeah, then we kind of came up over here to this radio tower, and I was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, oh, I'll just get out my repair tool and it'll be fine. But no, we need Shipwreck Salvage and an advanced wiring kit. I was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, oh, well, I'll just go into creative, I'll get the stuff, and then we can see what happens. So I actually went into creative and I got myself an advanced wiring kit, and it actually let me repair it 50%. Up to 50% completed. I was like, right, okay. Then I was like, Shipwreck Salvage, where am I going to get this from? And I recently watched one of, I think, IGP's videos, and I noticed that he was exploring this massive, like, ship that had obviously been there, like, it was a wreckage of a ship that had obviously been there for a very long time. And I was like, oh, it must be, like, in there, you know? So I kind of knew that. And I was like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to have to Google this because I didn't have a clue, you know. Like I said, I try to stay away from spoilers. So according to Google, this supply crate was meant to contain one, but there was none in there. So then I Googled it again, and it depends on your save. It depends when you go from early access and you head into experimental, whether it'll be there or not. So then I heard that it's actually in the wreckage of the ship, which is where we are now. So I decided to come over here. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it in creative mode so I don't drown. And we're just going to have a really good look because we haven't been in this before. So it's really, really cool to be in here. There's some really good supplies in here, more story elements are in here as well, and it's just a really cool thing to see. You can tell from like the look of it and everything that it's been there for such a long time. And you will need a laser cutter. I went into creative to get mine. But obviously, if you want to do it without cheating, you're going to need like diamond and stuff. But I have to say that our Subnautica world here in Below Zero does have quite a few diamonds in it, so you should be alright in finding those definitely. What I'll do, guys, is I'll leave all the information on, you know, where's the best place to find things and all of that fun stuff down in the description. And this is where I went to try and find out more information myself. So I'll leave that link below if you guys want to know where you need to go to get certain things. But yeah, I was like, oh, this must be it. But no, that was like a nuclear reactor rod that was in there. Now, bear in mind, as we, you know, get updates to the game and as they finish and polish it, everything may change anyway. But it turns out that what you need to do is use your laser cutter inside this, like, big wreckage on the side of one of the actual, like, a part of the ship. So it's not in, like, you know, it's not, like, floating around somewhere. It's not in a crate. You actually have to, like, cut through part of the ship in order to access the metal salvage that you need to repair the radio tower. And for the life of me, I spent so long trying to find this, and then I finally found it and I was like, oh my god, finally. So there it is, Shipwreck Salvage. Not what I thought it was going to look like at all, so no wonder I couldn't find it, right? It's not what I was expecting, put it that way. So I kind of zoomed out a bit so you guys can kind of get an idea of where it's going to be in the wreckage if you want to explore it yourself and find it. And then finally we were able to come and repair this. So yay for me, hallelujah.
Do you read? Sam, are you up there? I haven't seen any ships. I'm starting to get...
Robin, I read you. Are you okay?
I got set up in the life pod. I'm fine. What happened up there?
We lost comms in both the launch bays. It's chaos, but nothing that can't be stitched back on.
What about Jeff?
The ship went off course. West, towards the Glacial Basin.
He's still down here.
Finding him is not the priority. Our ships are all out of action, and we've got people stranded in other sectors. I need you to stay safe until we can send a rescue team.
I've done this before. I'll be okay.
I know you will. Rob, I have to go. I'll call back as soon as I can.
Roger that. I feel better knowing you're still up there, even if you are out of reach.
So yeah, a little bit more story element there, which is really cool. But we come up here then, and then you can build the rocket, you know, the rocket that kind of, you know, transports things up to the Vespa. So it takes 2 titanium, which is actually really, really cheap resources. And this is what you need to do. You need to send stuff up and stuff like that. Now, depending on how you play through the game, like if like me you were just kind of exploring and the story was just kind of bouncing around and coming to you, then you may or may not have things working in order.
I've got things under control.
Good. We need to debrief. Before the storm, you said you spoke to one of them. One of the architects.
Briefly. A meteor struck the facility somewhere. It shut down.
Why aren't you more disappointed?
It's further than we ever got.
You think it's still alive? Robin, I know I can't stop you chasing aliens, but keep me informed if anything else happens.
Don't worry. I'll follow the protocols.
I have to write this up. Stay safe.
Yeah, so like you can build a rocket ship and then send stuff up. They ask you, you know, for certain things, like they ask you for the enzyme at one point as well. But because I hadn't like naturally played through the story, I was literally exploring stuff, going as far as I'd gone before and then going further again.
She's my sister, not my master.
You do not trust your sister.
I risked my life to save you. When she finds out, I don't know what she'll do, but it won't be good for you. So, I am thrilled to meet you and I want to help you, but first, we need to get you out of my head.
You must transfer me to a superior storage medium.
How?
I may remember with sufficient external memory aids.
Such as what?
I can think more efficiently when we're not sharing your language processing unit.
Are you asking me to shut up?
That is another way of putting it.
I thought that was quite a funny little story element there, that was great. So yeah, depending on how you kind of go through the game, at least in this version of the game, you know, it doesn't necessarily trigger each act one after the other. So each story element, it doesn't come one after the other, if that makes sense. So yeah, that might just be because of early access, or it might just be because I wasn't naturally playing the game. I was kind of like bouncing around, you know. So that could be it as well. So we actually got a signal from like a ship as well. So there's a lot happening, and we actually get this little drop off, which is like food and water. And we also get this data chip as well, so it actually gives you a sea truck upgrade, MK1, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I found this like little research area where they have like this little cage and this little floating platform, something obviously escaped from here. So that was pretty cool to see as well. And then up on top of it, then you've got like a little PDA and more information, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, it's just as I was playing, I was discovering more and more things, and I was just really in the mood to play Subnautica. I wanted to see more. Curiosity had gotten the better of me, and yeah, I thought, well, you know, I can't record at the moment, but there's nothing wrong with, you know, recording all the cool stuff for you guys and then doing a voiceover, something a little bit different, and it's cool. Because this way you guys don't have to watch the grindy part of anything. I can edit it all together. We can see all of the cool bits, because with like, you know, experimental, and even like, you know, with just the, you know, beginning of this game, it's not complete. There's so many bugs that I don't want to spend all my time like, you know, trying to like grind. I'd rather just go into freedom or go into creative to get things and all of that type of stuff. So this way we can just enjoy what we know so far and what's in the game so far, all the cool bits, you know, which is awesome. But any of this information you guys want to pause and read, I'll leave it up on the screen for you guys. Obviously I've already read through it myself, but it was so cool to like find out all this information. I mean, you guys use Subnautica, like, you know, advanced people. You probably already know everything by now. You know everything that's in the game, but I'm a little bit more slower in, like, you know, finding everything. I tend to take my time, and, you know, it just means that it takes me a little longer to like find all of the details, you know. But I really enjoyed making this. It was a lot of fun to kind of go around everything. I did use cheats. I did go into creative. I wanted to find stuff, you know, and I was like, well, I remember I was creating that little base that you see me guys create. It was tiny, nothing special. It was just basically enough for me to put a fabricator in, and I just wanted to basically make a sea truck. But I was thinking, well, it's pointless me, you know, making one for real, because my save file will probably be broken anytime soon. And, you know, I just wanted to get into things, and I thought, well, we'll do things a little bit different. I mean, why not, right? So this is actually the entrance, the beginning of the entrance to the Glacial Basin, and there's jellyfish everywhere. They're really cool, they're really fun to look at. They've even got like baby jellyfish, which is cute. But the jellyfish, as I was trying to like drive the sea truck, the jellyfish were actually causing my sea truck to get damaged, even though they were barely touching it. I was like, oh my god. I didn't notice at first, and then I looked down and I could see like the number going down and down. I was like, oh my god, I better repair this before it explodes. And then there's just jellyfish everywhere. I mean, they don't like come up to you and try and like attack you or anything, but if you do get too close to like the little glowing tentacles, they do electrocute you. So yeah, be warned. But then I was like, I had the sea truck, I was by the Glacial Basin. Obviously I wanted to go back there because I wanted to see if there was, again, any more changes in the story or anything like that. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to get my sea truck through there. So what I did in the end is I just went with my sea glide, and I went into creative so that I wouldn't... Did I go into creative? No, that was it. I jumped on the sea glide, and I was like, I wonder, you know, if... You know, because eventually we'll play the game for real in survival when it's completed, and I wanted to know if I could make it from where I parked my sea truck to, you know, the opening to get oxygen with the sea glide without dying, basically. So that's what we're trying to do. And as you can see on our journey there are jellyfish everywhere. So I really like that they've added, you know, each step in the story, there's more and more dangers. You're discovering these new creatures that have new threats. So I really love the pacing, and I thought it was really good. But I did make it, just about. I think I had about 5 oxygen left by the time I got to the top. But I made it, so it was cool. But yeah, I think we are loading in quite a few new different things, because I noticed as I was like travelling around to different parts of the world, there was some serious lag going on, which basically means loading stuff.
Detecting a nearby Altera signal. Personnel may be in need of assistance.
So I couldn't really tell exactly where this was coming from. I'm pretty sure that it's from like a little bunker, which I do show off in this. But But I'm pretty sure it's from the little bunker where Jeff was hanging out and he had like all the snow stalkers around him. I think that's what it's for. I could be wrong. It could be like something completely different. But anyway, I decided to check out the ice room again just to see if our ice room friend had been updated and what other cool stuff we could find down here. But we just kind of see the flick of his tail. But I wanted to come and explore down here. Again, not one we've explored too much, and I actually found this like entrance going downwards. I think this is where the ice room kind of digs its tunnels, and you can actually go through these, which I thought was really awesome. And I'm pretty sure that these tunnels are kind of designed for when you have the prawn suit, because there's all of these drilling places where you can get resources from. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, it was really cool to like go through the tunnels of the ice room and kind of see all these different tunnels that he made on his little journeys, and it was just awesome. And then obviously then you've got like the shock and the vibrations of the ice room in the background. He could like pop up at any moment and eat you. So I thought that was really, really cool as well. Definitely awesome. But I have to say, now that I've kind of found more and more of this game and explored a lot more, I'm tempted to kind of back off a little bit and kind of wait until the game is fully out to kind of explore any further, because I think this game is quite close to its completion. I know that the development team want to work on like the story elements a little bit more. They're trying to sort that out. I think they've got a team member that's leaving and a new one joining them, and they're going to be like redoing some of the story, which is cool. And of course they've got to do the ending and stuff like that, but there's still stuff in the game that you can't access just yet, because obviously they don't want you to just yet, which makes sense. But yeah, I think I've gotten to the point now where I don't really want to spoil too much more for myself. So unless they update something that I kind of already seen in the game and we check that out, I don't think I'll be playing too much more of this game. At least not until we have the fuller version, because I kind of feel like I'm spoiling too much for myself. I mean, there is still a few story elements that I don't think I've triggered yet, and I kind of want to keep them for a surprise. It's like, I know that, you say Martha is back in the game, or Marta, I'm not really sure how you say her name, but she was in the original Subnautica.
You would not understand.
And you get to see her base, which we'll have coming up.
We are different. But aren't we seeing with the same eyes right now? Don't you see the same colours?
No.
What do you see?
Eyes, radio, senses, they just detect a vibration. What you call your 5 senses, I call 1. No surfaces, no colours, no blur of motion. Just data points fluctuating between non-existence and infinity.
Is it fun?
Did you not understand? I am experiencing existence.
I just can't tell. It sounds wild, but also cold.
It is precise, but wavy. From just what you hear, I can taste the air, or listen to the shape of the room. It is engaging.
Sounds like we have the same experience, different ways. And we were born in different galaxies. Isn't that incredible?
No. If it is true, it is a matter of statistical inevitability.
That's another way to put it.
So that was really cool to get a little bit more of story elements and a little bit more of like the way Alan sees the world. That was fun. But yeah, as you can see, we are here. This is Marta's base. So Margaret, that's it, Margaret, however you say her name, guys. We're just going to call her Marge. So this is her base. This is a really cool prawn suit. And I believe that in the game you can actually run into her. There's like a story clip of her. I think there's 2. And I think there's meant to be a story clip. I think she is meant to be in this base, but you've got to trigger it. And because I like cheated so much in the game and like kind of gone forward in the story, when I come here, she wasn't here. But I still decided to like explore her base because I thought it was really, really cool. See, this is the problem. If I like didn't know that, I wouldn't be able to. I would just think this is the base and that's it. And then when the full version come out, I'd be totally shocked to see her here, wouldn't I? But no, Amy's got to do loads of research and spoil stuff for herself. But it's really cool in here, I have to say. It is awesome. You can get like upgrades in here and stuff like that. I'm not sure like if you do, you know, kind of have the story elements. I'm not sure if you can explore it like this. I don't know. But it was really cool to look around here. Obviously, we know her from the original Subnautica, so to have that story element kind of tying those two together was really fun, and I'm so glad she's back. She's a really fun character, and I remember when we went to the original Subnautica, it was really cool to like know more about her, and she was just really, really tough and kick-ass, and I just loved her. I thought she was a really fun character, you know? So I'm glad she's back. It's awesome. But again, this is something I wish I kind of hadn't seen, if you know what I mean. It's strange. Subnautica is one of those games that you explore and you can't wait, you know, to know more about the game, what's going to happen, who's in it, what the dangers are, you know, what's the next big creature. But then when you do all of that, when you do it, especially when you do it in, you know, the better version of the games, when you do it in experimental and, you know, the game's still being developed, you kind of spoil for yourself because the finished product is always going to be that much better. So, you know what I mean? So I kind of wish I hadn't seen this, and it was at this point that I was like, maybe I should stop, like, trying to explore everything, you know what I mean? But, you know, couldn't help myself, I just had to continue. But, again, I wanted to come back down here. This is where the frozen creature lives, and I wanted to see if there was any different like story elements or if anything had changed down here really. As far as I can see, it's pretty much all the same, but the only thing I did mess up on,
Confirm visual.
I'll even say this.
It's hard to miss.
The team was supposed to send a sample up to the labs, but they evacuated first.
I'll take a look around.
Roger.
So you can explore this. If you go up the elevator and then you go to the part where the little machine is getting the sample. I did that. I went up there, took the elevator up, and I had like that little exvacuating. How do you say that word? Exvacuate. I can't say it, guys. Extracting. That's the one. So I had this like little robot machine extract, like, you know, from the bacterium of our giant creature here. But what I didn't realise is if you look, there's like a little pot on the actual little robot that extracts, and you can pick up that little vial. Once it's extracted, it actually goes in, I'll zoom in it for you guys, it actually goes into that little vial and you can pick that up. I didn't even know you could do that. And yeah, so I haven't done that either, so I'm not sure if that triggers another story element, I don't know. But I was gonna, when I realised that, because after this I kind of googled some stuff because I was a little bit curious.
He's been here recently.
Can you upload it?
Are you getting it?
He was looking for the architect. Any idea where he might have gone?
None.
We can focus our scans to the west. I'll let you know if we find anything.
Roger that.
So this is Jeff, this is kind of where he was held up, and here you can get, like, I believe you can get another disc, which is for the jukebox. You can get Snow, was it? Stalker Fur, I think it is, which comes in handy to make the weather suit when we eventually have weather in the game. And there's some other stuff there as well, which is really cool. Also, we can ride these very cool, adorable creatures, which I think are friendly-ish. I think they are quite chilled. So yeah, we can ride those guys. It was so cute. So we are back here. I think this is like the vent garden. I think they're called vent gardens. I don't really know. I like haven't got a clue of the names of any of this stuff yet. But this is where I found this lovely new creature, who was extremely scary, and his whole mouth like opens up into 4 separate pieces to swallow you whole. So that was scary stuff. I am actually in creative at the moment. We've been here before briefly, and we didn't get to explore too much because I was worried about dying basically. So I decided to come here in creative. This guy is so cool. I have no idea what he's called, but I believe that it's one of his like, you know, claw things that Margaret uses on her customized version of the prawn suit. I'm pretty sure it comes from that creature. So that's pretty awesome, whatever he may be called. So yeah, I decided to explore around here a bit. A very, very beautiful biome. And I think this is going to be like one of my favourites. You can see another like crashed abandoned ship over there. Again, kind of like the one we were at before. I'm not sure if it's the same one or another. I know there are 2 in the game, I believe. So that's pretty cool. So there's another one of those to check out here. And these like vent garden things, the small ones that kind of float around, which I thought was awesome. So I was just kind of checking out some stuff that I didn't really have too much time to look at, you know, in depth while we were in survival. I just wanted to kind of like look around and take in all of the coolness. This biome is amazing, guys. It really is very, very cool. I love it. So I'm really excited for this. It's going to look so amazing. I mean, it really does look amazing already, but once the game is 100% ready and polished, this is probably going to be one of my favourites, visually at least anyway. It's so cool here. But yeah, basically what I did is I just kind of edited together all the cool story elements and anything new that I found, and I thought this would be a little bit of fun, something a little bit different. You could see another one of those guys swimming just then. I'm not sure what those guys are called, but they seem friendly enough. They didn't try to attack me, and you could ride them, which was so cool. I love that. But yeah, it's kind of cool to have a little bit more story and a bit more background, especially when it comes to like Robin and her sister and Alan, our alien architect friend. But yeah, look how cool this is. I mean, so many amazing sights and stuff. I just think it looks so good. And then I dove a little bit deeper, started exploring, and realised that this was leading me to possibly another biome. So of course I had to go and check it out. So I thought, you know what, I'm being creative, let's go see what's down here. I couldn't contain myself, guys, I had to know. That is the thing about Subnautica. It's one of those games, it really draws you in. It's like, as soon as you see that little gap opening up between the rocks, as you delve deeper and deeper under the water, you just know you're going to explore it, no matter what the dangers may be. So I thought I'm going to take the opportunity to do this in creative and actually explore, and not just panic that I'm going to be eaten and die at any second. Really cool music kicks in as well. I love the music that kicked in as I was exploring this. It sounds so good. It fits perfectly. It's like, you know, discovering something beautiful and amazing for the very first time. So I thought they really did an amazing job with the soundtrack. I'm loving it. It sounds so cool. It really does like make you like immerse yourself even further into the game, so that's pretty awesome as well. I also found these little glowy things over by here too, and I was like, what are you? So I have no idea what they are, but they're everywhere down here. It's pretty crazy. So this is like another base that you can find, and I noticed like under the base there was like opening, so I was like, oh, I haven't looked down there, let's go and check that out. So I believe we've already explored that base previously, which is kind of why I skimmed past it a little bit. But I was looking at all these beautiful glowing bioluminescent plants. I thought they looked really cool. And lo and behold, they were kind of guiding me to something a little bit new. So I was like, whoa, that is super deep. We're already going past like 450 meters and I couldn't see the bottom. I was like, ooh, I wonder how deep this goes. And I was like, and then I could hear like this weird creature sounds, and I was like, So I continued, and I was like, I wonder what I'll find. So down we swim in it, and I was like, I'm in creative, you know, nothing to worry about. And I was like, oh, they've got some really good resources down here, awesome. And I was like, oh, there's more holes. So I was like, let's go for the one that looks the deepest. So we continued to explore, very, very cool. At this point, I was like totally distracted, sidetracked from my original ideas for the video, which was to like put on all the story elements that, you know, I hadn't seen before, and I was like, ooh, crystals. And I was like, wow. So yeah, I stumbled across this very, very cool new biome, which is extremely deep down, which is crystal biome. That's what I'm going to call it. I have no idea what the official name is for this biome, but it looks amazing. So there's crystals everywhere. And I was like, ooh, this is really cool. Again, huge, massive creature. Now this one I kind of recognise a little bit more. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that this is a shadow leviathan, which is basically like the Reaper, darker, and looks about 50 million times more terrifying. So that's what that guy is, a shadow leviathan. And even though I was in creative and I knew I couldn't die, I was still terrified, I'm not gonna lie. So he's quite scary. I was like, yep. Oh, I was like, wow, you were huge, you were terrifying, oh my god. But at this point, I was so intrigued by this biome. I was like, I must explore, I must know what's down here. So I was like, yep, that's what we're doing. We're gonna look everywhere. So that's what I started doing. I started, you know, swimming about, got my old sea glide out, the old trusted sea glide, and I was just going everywhere. I was like, this is so awesome. Such a cool biome. It looks huge. I mean, it's a really big size. I mean, if you kind of just look and pause at this moment and then look how big, like in the distance, you can see there's gaps and you can't see the end, you know what I mean? It's like you can't see like the roof of the sides of the biome, if that makes sense, even though I've been a really, really far distance, and it is huge down here. Very, very cool. Really cool plants as well. There's like kind of bioluminescent, it's like a rock slash plant. It's cool. I like it. And these really cool crystals that just look awesome.
I am detecting a faint signal from one of our facilities in the region.
Do you know anything more?
Most of my knowledge was lost when I was backed up. I may remember more as we draw closer.
So yeah, we had this little pop-up from Alan saying that some of his technology was down here. I was like, ooh. So I was thinking, you know, this biome, we're like really deep down, it's going to be something really cool. And I was like, oh my god, it goes deeper. I kind of had a little idea that there would be a very deep biome in the game, because I noticed when I went into creative mode and I created myself a sea truck and I give myself the maximum depth module, which is MK3, I noticed that it went to 900 meters down. And I was like, well, they wouldn't make it so they could go 900 meters down unless you could do that in the game. And I was like, ooh. So then when I came across this place and I started going this deep, I was like, oh, this is why it could go so deep, you know, because we need to be able to get here. And I was like, where am I going? I was so excited at this point. And I didn't Google this, I didn't know anything about this, and the fact that I just found this from exploring just made it even cooler, which is why I'm trying not to spoil anything past where I already know. Because when the full release comes out, I want to have at least the ending as a surprise and some other stuff that I haven't seen yet, you know, so that'd be awesome. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to, like, you know, not search too much, but of course, you know, you can't help yourself sometimes. So yeah, we've actually gone to the point where we're on land now, and hello, alien technology. So I came across this and I was like, oh my god, is Alan in there? Is there another guy in there? Is there going to be like an alien horde ready to kill me? What is in here? Because it's so deep. You have to get past a shadow Leviathan. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be huge. I was so excited. And I think I was more excited about the fact that I found this on my own, you know. But here it is. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, oh, this is like really cool. So I was like, is this a body for our alien buddy? I mean, what is this? And I was like, I can't even scan it. And I was like, well, you know, we are in pre-release for an experimental. This is obviously going to be attached to possibly the end game. And I was like, well, obviously they don't want me to be able to scan this, you know. So yeah, couldn't scan it. But I'm thinking this is going to be a very significant place when the game is out fully, because it would be, right? I mean, you can tell that that's like alien guts or something like that, you know what I mean? So Alan needs somewhere else to be. He needs a new storage medium, and the deepest part of the game takes you to something that looks like aliens guts, basically. So it's like, we're going to be building him a body, maybe, something like that, who knows. But I also found some really cool alien technology as well, which I decided to scan randomly, because, you know, why not? So yeah, there's some really cool stuff down here. Really love this biome. It just looks so cool. And the shadow of fire, I think there's like 2 down here, because when I was checking out one, I could hear another one like making its noises in the background. I was like, oh dear. So such a cool biome that was. And now we are by, I believe we're by the lily pads, the deepest part. Yep, we're by the lily pads and the deepest part. And I noticed that there was all these huge gaps in between. So I was like, let's explore. And I remember then that there was this really deep biome that I came across quite early on in early access, but I couldn't actually get down there without drowning. And I always meant to go back to it, but I never had the resources, or I got distracted by the story elements of the game. So I was like, you know what, I'm in creative, I'm going to go and have a look and see what's down here, finally. So I come across this little glowing red, like, sphere, and I was like, what's that? And it's a flower spore. I was like, ooh, which apparently you can't collect, but I had a full inventory at the time. And then I noticed, and now I thought this was like a mushroom biome or something like that, like a bioluminescent mushroom biome, but they're not, they're flowers. And I was like, ooh, cool. And they kind of pulse, and as you come down, it plays this really cool soundtrack, and it's almost like the flowers are drawing you to them. It's really amazing. The atmosphere in this biome is awesome. Now, I'm sure in time we'll have some nasty predators coming out of these. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. But I did start scanning stuff. Unfortunately, not much stuff that's newer in, you know, this version of the game kind of has like write-ups just yet, but that's fine. But I was looking around. It's such a cool place to be, guys. It looks so good. The atmosphere down here is like amazing. It's just a really cool place to check out. And there's also alien tech down here as well. So that's really cool. I was like, ooh. And you've also got like loop flowers down here, which I do check out. So they're pretty awesome as well. They're like this new plant in the game. So it's like a loop plant. Here we go, look. I'm pretty sure it's a loop plant. So yeah, a loop plant. So they're really fun as well. But yeah, the flowers themselves, like the big glowy ones, I was like, ooh. And when I first went up to it, I was like, oh, there's gotta be like predators down here. So I believe there are like the jellyfish down here as well. But whether they'll add in like more predators, like a certain predator only is going to be here, I do not know. But for the time being, I didn't come across anything too scary down here, apart from the odd jellyfish. So yeah. Anyway, I continued exploring. I was like, this alien tech down here, there's probably like an alien sanctuary. And lo and behold, hello. So I was like, oh, well, I found it now, gotta explore it. So I carried on, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's going to be down here. And as I was drawing close, I was like, oh, it's one of the ones you go through like the little gateway and you're on land again. So I was like, okay. So had a good look around, noticed that there was this really cool flower as well, where there's just the one flower and everything was kind of like flowing from it. I was like, oh, that's unusual. But then I noticed as the flowers were like pulsing and everything, they were doing it as well. So I'm not sure whether when the game is like fully updated, that'll have some more significance. Whereas if, you know, you actually went and touched it while I was doing that, maybe it would hurt you, I don't know. But we found like this weird thing on the floor, which I think is like alien skin or something. So I'm thinking, you know, when the full release of the game comes out, we'll be able to scan that, and maybe you've got to like, get like a certain amount of these different like alien parts in order to like create Alan and like a body or something. I don't know. But we got an outpost Amiga code. So I was like, okay. So that kind of came through as well. I was like, right. And then I went to this base, and I was like, okay, so we'll go, I will use the code. So in we go. So I checked out the base again, because, you know, obviously they do update stuff, you know, and I was like, oh, there's probably, like, new stuff in here that I haven't seen yet, and so I decided to come and give this a little bit of exploration. This is in the lily pads biome, the very, very deep part, if you guys are wondering. So whether we'll be able to, like, repair that in the future, I don't know, but I decided to use the code here for the outpost, and it did work. It did actually open the door, which I was like, ooh, okay. So in we go, and yeah, this is where they were doing like research and everything, and kind of had a little look around, and basically in the middle of the room there's like this little thing that you can pick up, which is like the Amiga base research, and on there it kind of explains kind of what they were doing here. So here they were trying to make contact and wake up the aliens. And basically, they knew more than they were letting on, so more story element comes out of it. So we're going to collect it. Hopefully, it'll stay up on the screen long enough for us to kind of read through it. So,
this is Vesper checking in.
I'm at Outpost Omega, rooting through their research.
They haven't stopped complaining since the evac.
I bet. They always thought they were one step away from first contact.
Can you upload the documents you found?
Hold on.
This data would allow an intelligent human to extrapolate my presence in your cerebral cortex. Do not upload it.
Sam, I'm having some trouble with this upload. It might be the caves.
Roger. Send it as soon as you're clear.
So yeah, artifact data transfer notes. While the other teams have been pursuing more devious approaches to awakening the artifacts, we have been more practical. We know these part organic, part digital beings stored what they thought of as themselves on computers within their sanctuaries, and we know efforts to wake or communicate with them in situ have been in vain. What we have theorized is necessary to truly make first contact is for these digital ghosts to be first recombined with some organic component. After studying these sanctuaries, we believe they had means to both grow cybernetic bodies and to transfer the data patterns between them. We have developed and attached a range of formula which we hope will be predictive if and when such things. Okay, so it's not up for very long, so feel free to pause and read it all. But basically, they believe that the aliens, the architects, had the ability to transfer themselves from the sanctuaries where they have their digital selves downloaded to actual bodies. And I think this is part of the story. I don't know whether this is going to be changed, because like I said, when they did the announcement, they did say that they are going to be changing the story a little bit before it comes out for full release. I think full release of the game is due out early 2020, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be January 2020. Whether that's still a thing or not, I do not know. But here in the base, it's very cool. You can get another jukebox CD from here, another disc. So this is kind of, you can kind of explore it a little bit more as well, which is awesome. But yeah, so you kind of get to know a little bit more about the technologies, the precursors, and the fact that these guys were themselves trying to actually wake them up. And then you get to see more of the talk between like Alan and Robin, and with her sister being there as well, on their conversations. And note how he like tells her not to tell them, not to upload that data, because then she'll know that he's in her head and everything like that. So it's really cool the way the story elements are coming together. It really does leave it open to your own imagination at the moment as well. Like, to me, I don't think Alan is all innocent, but I don't think Sam is either. I think there's more to it than they're letting Robin know. So it's been really exciting to kind of check out all of cool story moments when the game is finalized. As for me, I don't know how much more Subnautica Below Zero Early Access I'm going to play. If I do play, it'll probably be through things I've already seen before, just kind of going through the game and stuff like that, because I do love the game, it's amazing, but I'm trying to hold off and not spoil too much more for myself. Anyways, thank you so much for checking out this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, guys, something a little bit different today, and I hope you will have an amazing day, and I will catch you all next time. Bye!